Hey guys, how's it going? Preparing here. So today in Path of Exile was another one of these 3-hour leveling races on hardcore. And if you win these, you get this special item that makes your character bigger. It's pretty awesome. You can have a look-see there. But anyway, the point is, this particular week, for the first time ever, it was a solo-only race. And a lot more people participated. It was something like 1,000 over, maybe a little over or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, so I think about 400 people actually made it to the end, and out of all this mess, I ended up second place. Now you guys are probably wondering, like, Parian, you didn't get first? Oh, unsubscribe. That's it. All right, I'm gonna go watch some other YouTubers now. No, all right, guys. Before it gets all dramatic, I haven't been playing the game that long, but I did really well. I got almost to level 31, I got to level 30, and 1 bar until 31. Each bar is 5% XP. And the winner was a few bars past 31, and it was neck and neck for quite a while. But, sometimes this happens. Could have been any of us around the 20-minute mark, but he pulled ahead. I think he had a little bit of a better spec. But the point is, prior to this week, the highest level ever, including team play, group play, and trading items and whatnot, was just over level 29. So I beat that guy by almost 2 levels. So the best time prior ever until today, I beat by 2 levels. And this was like, I did 1 practice run yesterday, and this was the run. That was it. I was pretty proud of myself. Anyway, okay, so enough of the ego talk right here. We had a talk with the guy that beat me, and he said he was watching the stream, and he took a couple pointers on what to do and what sequence to do certain quests in the second act of the game. Now, I want to show you guys what I did and what I think led to a lot of the success I had in today's race. So some of you that are interested in Path of Exile leveling contest, you guys can take this information and give you another edge. Because, Guild Wars 2 is coming out next week, and this is probably the last one I'll do in a while. In terms of the Path of Exile leveling races. So, here's some of the tips, here's the secrets, the pointers. But also, those of you that are not too into Path of Exile, I want you guys to really understand where problems exist in games and how you take advantage of certain situations. So, just before I get started, you can see the chart over here. It's a pretty awesome chart from Temple of Exiles. I'm not going to give you a direct link because I think their site is going to break, but you guys can check out the website, just Google the thing if you want. But anyway, so you can see that I'm this little blue line over here, and the Marauder that ended up winning was just over right at the end. He peaked in the last like 7 minutes or so, and he came up just ahead right at the end. He had a little bit of better spec, like I said, but I'm still improving. I'm still improving. If there was another contest next week, watch out. But for me, I'll probably be playing some Guild Wars. So anyway, but certain people, they did really well. Like this guy, he played a witch. He did so well, but he was just farming Act 2 normal. So when he saw that we were when we were in cruel difficulty, and he was like #1 witch anyway, he was like, yeah, whatever. I just want my medallion. No need to prove anything else. So. But all the other guys, they were a little bit, and by a little bit, kind of a lot behind. The difference between 31 and 28 or 27 is a very big one in a limited time span like this. So let me show you guys some of the differences. So when it comes to the game, the biggest thing that I can say is you want to group up a bunch of mobs and kill them. But you also have to progress through the game because you can't just be, staying in one zone forever. So what you have to do is, as you are going through the game, whenever you have a big clump of mobs, you want to kill them. Straightforward as ever, right? But the thing is, you want to be killing mobs that are above or very close to your level for optimum experience game, especially up to the high 20s. So when you're progressing through Act 1 normal, I have the map right here. It's pretty linear. There isn't much strategy to it. Most people like myself skip past pretty much everything and just get to the ledge. Farm the ledge until about level 8, kill Brutus, go through the game, pretty linear stuff. I skipped most of the optional quests because the maps can be pretty convoluted, and you're actually going to over-level the area that you're in if you do every single quest, especially in Act 1 normal. However, when you get to Act 2, you see that the town is right in the middle and the area splits in two. But not only does it split in two pieces, see, both sides that you first go into are 17, and both the second areas are 18. And then they split off, so you have 22, 20, 21, and this becomes kind of a problem. So you're asking yourself, like, well, why is this a problem? Well, if you go over here to the right, and you just do everything, so you do 17, 18, 21, you do this optional area, 20, finish Chamber of Sins. The last level in Chamber of Sins is like level 22 or 23 or something crazy. And then you go back here and the mobs are 17. While the mobs might be cluttered up, when you kill them, you're not going to get much experience because they're much lower level than you are. And also, in these first zones, there's no waypoint. So let me show you what I did. So first we're going to go to the Act 2 town. This is where you start. The first thing I did is I went to the left side. And I went to the left side because, left or the right side, they're both level 17, no big deal. Now I'm not going to run through here, but basically when you run through the first zone, it's a pretty big zone. You're going to come to the Dark Forest if you follow the road to the left. And the Dark Forest is right at the entrance. Okay. So after I do this, after I find the Dark Forest, I go back to town from waypoint to waypoint. And then I walk out to the old fields, and then I walk into the crossroads. There's the crossroads. The waypoint is always in this X here. And because of this X, you always know that this direction here to the northeast is the Broken Bridge. And you have to go to the Broken Bridge to do this quest because you have to do all the elders. When you get to this area here, this is where the tribe leader or something like that. When you get to this tribe leader is actually really hard. So at this point, instead of doing them straight out, because it's on hardcore, it's a hardcore race. If you die, you're out. Usually when you're over here, like level 19, and this guy's really hard. So what I chose to do is, now that I'm over here, one option is to go back to Crossroads and go to Chamber of Sins, but Chamber of Sins is also pretty hard. So what I did was, I went back to the left side, back to the Dark Forest, and then I went to the Weaver's Chambers, which is a level 20 dungeon. It's a pretty hard level 20 dungeon, but it matches the difficulty. And then once you get out of Weaver, because you only spend a few minutes in Weaver, it doesn't refresh the map that you're in, which is right here in the Dark Forest. So you actually have a map advantage because you can then see where the left side of the map is. And the left side of the map here, the Western Forest, is also another tribe leader. And when you get here, this one's, in my opinion, is the easiest one. Right here is Alira. So I kill her, and then I go back to the waypoint, and then I go and kill the other one that was actually pretty hard. This one's pretty hard, so you have to take it very carefully. And then once I'm here, I go back to the crossroads, and I go in the northwest direction to the Chamber of Sins. And once I do that, I go back to town, and then you go north to Vol Ruins. And doing this way, more than just going all the way left or all the way right to begin with, you're going to have the same or very similar level monsters compared to your character, and you're going to get optimum experience. So while you're doing the same thing, you're actually getting more experience. And not only that, the difficulty is less. So my chance of dying is less. And the rest is the same. I just powered through the game. I just beat the final boss as fast as I could. And then I moved down to cruel difficulty, and then I just got to the ledge on cruel. I'll show you guys what the ledge is here. It's just a very easy zone with a bunch of skeletons. And I just farmed here as long as I could until the race was over. I can go on, but you have to realize, like, the next zone is one level higher, and then the same level, and then one level higher, then the same level, and then the same level, and then one level higher. So when you get onto the higher difficulty levels, the scaling of the zones isn't as good, and because of the time constraint, I would actually argue that in the later stages of the race, it's better to just farm like I did. Though I didn't win, I felt my strategy was sound, and I know it was sound because I had a chat with Barbie, the guy who won, and he said that, he was watching my stream, taking a few pointers because it was definitely the right way to do things, and I mean, he ended up winning. So we both broke the previous all the previous records, as a matter of fact. and it was pretty amazing experience. I hope you guys get into it, and I hope those that not too into Path of Exile at least kind of understand what kind of analogy goes behind setting up you know, a certain strategy for a leveling competition. And I wish you guys the best of luck, and see you tomorrow.